Okay, so I am back. I went and measured out my oils. I measured out my solids and I melted them on the stove top, and then I poured in my castor oil and my olive oil at room temperature. And so what I am going to decide now is which colander I'm actually going to use for this pour. I got this one off of Amazon for about $4, and this one is a dollar store find. I'm still trying to decide. I think I am not brave enough to use this one yet because I'm not sure how that will work. It might just come out and all the colors will just be muddy and who knows. So tonight I'm going to try this one. I'm just going to sit it in the mold and I'm just going to pour the color. So let's see how that goes. And let me move these out of the way so I can mix the soap batter. Let's see what the temperature is on this. We're at 98 degrees with the oils. 96, 97. And I have my colors all pre-mixed in these little containers. My blue. My green. My yellow. My orange. And my red. And what I'm going to do is give these a really good shake. I like these little to-go containers because I can mix what I need and give them a really good shake. And I actually have every container color coded except my yellow because for some reason I don't have a yellow spatula. See my orange with my orange. I will now add my lye water. What I didn't show earlier was that I actually used distilled ice cubes to make my lye water so that my lye water is actually at room temperature and ready to use right away. So the lye is at about 65 degrees right now. So when I'm working with a lot of colors, or if I am trying to do a very complicated pour such as this one, I will only use my stick blender until everything is mixed, and then from then on I use my whisk or my spatula just to make sure that nothing separates. So at this point I'm going to weigh out all of my soap batter into 6 separate containers that I'll be using for the colors. And when I'm working with soap, everything is in grams. I don't use ounces. I like to be very precise, so everything goes down to grams, including measuring my water, my lye, my additives. Everything is measured out by the gram. So I just added my fragrance oil. This is a fragrance oil that I've never used before, so pretty risky using it for this fragrance. And I usually don't take risks like this, but I'm feeling daring. So we'll see what happens. The worst that can happen is that it thickens up and I don't get to do it. I see that it looks like it's thickening up a little bit and I don't get to do the design that I want, but I'm going to see if I can still work with it anyway. All right, time to get started. Right here, I actually thought about just pouring it in the mold and doing like a slab swirl, and I changed my mind and I said, you know what, I'm gonna give this a go and just see if I can make this work. So let's pour in some of this purple. And I'm just going to keep an eye on every container to make sure that it doesn't get too thick. The original idea was for me to actually take my pitcher, have a large pitcher, and I was going to pour each color into it alternatively and then just pour the pitcher all at once. But I got kind of scared because this fragrance is definitely thickening up on me faster than I thought it would, but it's still pourable. My heart is beating so fast right now. Oh, this yellow looks so delicious. I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes I'm hungry when I'm making soap, apparently. That looks like custard. Some of these soap recipes remind me of my childhood. My mom would make all these delicious custards and tapiocas, and it takes me back down to memory lane. So as you can see, it's starting to come out the sides. So let's go ahead and do another layer of the same colors. And I just want to say a quick thank you to all the acrylic artists that I've been watching here on YouTube, because this is where I got the idea from. And I'm just going to go into my YouTube account here on my phone and see if I can find some of my favorite artists and just give them a shout out for giving me the idea and the inspiration. Okay, number one is Molly's Artistry. You are amazing. When I saw that kaleidoscope pour, I was like, what? I'm still going to try to make that happen in soap. I need to figure out what scent I can use to make sure that the fluid stays liquid enough for me to attempt to get a kaleidoscope. And then another person is Mixed Media Girl, Creative Mom Studio, Amanda's Design, Art by Fars, Designed by Kathy. And those are mainly the main, withBade Art. Those are mainly the Fluid Art Studio. I've been watching so many of your videos, and I just want to say thank you for the inspiration, and keep up the good work, and keep this world full of color. My husband likes to tease me and say that I spend way too much time trying to get every single drop out of these containers. And you know what? He's actually right in this instance, because I really should have just left those little bits and pieces in there, maybe 2 ounces of each batch, just reserved it, because what I found was that once I get to the very bottom of the very last drop of the pour, and I'm trying to get that last bit out of the colander, all the colors just kind of blend together and turn kind of grayish. So next time I do this, I'm going to probably stop right here, and I'm going to take what is in that colander, and I'm just going to tip it over and pour it in the middle, and just take my bamboo skewer and create a pretty design in the middle, versus trying to get everything to come through the colander at the same time. And this is the point that I was talking about earlier. I should have taken this and I should have just poured it in the middle, and I would have gotten that beautiful star design in the middle, and maybe just done a little circle like I'm doing in there, but it did not translate to the center of the soap as I liked it, as I wanted or envisioned. And you know, the soap turned out actually very beautiful, and you'll see the cut pictures at the end, but that's just what I learned from this batch. This is my second or third colander pour, and I definitely like the technique, and I'm going to definitely do more for you. And here's a close up of one of my favorite bars in there. Very pretty. So it is the next morning, and I had these in the freezer for about 20 minutes before I realized that somebody had turned the freezer off, and so everything was actually defrosting. So I just popped them out. So they're still a little soft, and I'd say they were actually just, I put them in bed about 5 hours ago, but they're ready to come out of the mold. And plus, I'm impatient, so I wanted to see what they look like. So I'm popping them out right now, and I'm going to bevel these and plane them as well. Alright, so now that all the soaps are out of the mold, I am now ready to actually plane them and bevel them. I got this plane or beveler combo thing from Etsy, and let me just find that information for you. And what I like about it is that if the top of the bar isn't to my satisfaction, I can just plane it right off. So I got the planer from Custom Soap Stamps on Etsy, and I like it because I can plane my soaps and I can bevel them at the same time. So check him out. He also makes he makes soap stamps and he makes soap cutters. Pretty crafty guy. I actually have a new soap stamp coming from him for my beer soap line. He already made me a soap stamp for the ZAJA line, which I'll show you guys in another video. As you can see, this is the before. I'm sorry I can't get it to quite focus. And you can see how the colors pop once you get that top layer off. You just want to be patient, take your time. Like I could have probably waited another day or two before I did these, but I just wanted to be able to show you guys what it looks like when you do take the tops off of those soaps. And I would actually use soap that I bevel off. I use those to make samples. Or sometimes I just put them in a box and I donate them. A lot of our churches need soaps for the families. Local churches, local businesses, they're always doing food drives. And one of the things that they're always looking for is actually bar soap. So I donate a lot of my soap ends. A lot of any of the soaps that I personally can't sell because it's irregularly shaped or whatever, I donate a lot of those. And my children's teachers always get a big box of soap periodically throughout the year as a token of our appreciation for educating them and having them all day long. So if you're a soap maker, don't throw those bars away. Don't throw those scraps away. I mean, it's still usable soap. You can donate them. Take them to the homeless shelter. Donate them to your mailman. All right, so now that I'm done cleaning, I'm going to show you what I do with my scraps that I bevel off. This is one of my favorite silicone molds to use. It's actually a fondant. I don't know how you say that. It's actually a press, and I got them off of AliExpress or Amazon, I can't remember, but they are in the shape of the house sigils from the Game of Thrones. And my personal favorite one is the House of Tyrell. So I've been making a lot of soap samples from the House of Tyrell soap sigil there. And what I do is I just press all the soap together. And this soap is a little too fresh to actually do a really great job. But what I do is I press it in there, and it's like a little soap cookie. And I will use that as a sample for one of my orders. That's so cute, isn't it? So nothing goes to waste here. I am not one for throwing soap away. When I first started years ago, I didn't know what to do with all the soap. You know, there's only so much you can give to family and friends, and then you have all the soap still sitting there. And so in those early years, we would kind of pitch our soap ends, throw away the beer soap ends and stuff. Then it was like, what are we doing? Why are we throwing away perfectly good soap? So then we started selling them. So we would wait until we accumulated one of those medium flat rate boxes, and we would sell them, you know, $30, $40 a box, and they sold really well. But then we decided to just start donating them. So we take boxes to the fire station, boxes to the school for the kids, give the bus driver soap. We donate to homeless shelters, donate to churches, anywhere where people are in need of basically a basic, you know, thing that we need in society. We need food, and we need a way to get clean. So I enjoy donating my soaps. I feel like it's a very rewarding thing for me and my family personally, because we're getting our soaps in good hands to people who need them, and we don't feel the need to charge people for little scraps of soap. So yeah, these are some ideas that you can use with your soap scraps, and you guys can definitely look forward to getting these samples in your orders. And sometimes they're not quite pressed into such a cute little shape. This is a fluid hot process soap I actually made the other day. I'm trying to get it into focus. Still trying to learn how to use my new camera. Let's see if we can ever get it up. Almost. But that's a fluid hot process soap I made last week, and it's just the right texture now to mold. But yeah, but I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will post more for you soon. Let me know what you think, and if you have any ideas for me or any comments, that would be awesome. You guys have a great day.